Welcome to Be a Better Marketer, the podcast where top marketing minds share the latest trends, strategies, and real-world tips to help you grow your business and sharpen your skills. Whether you're a pro or just getting started, this is your edge in the marketing world.
Welcome to Be a Better Marketer podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Rosenstein. Today I have the honor of interviewing Mithyll Dave. Mithyll, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for this opportunity. Looking forward.
Can you share a little bit about yourself with the audience, like a little bit about your background, like how did you get to where you are today and exactly what do you do?
Surely, Daniel. Hi, my name is Mithyll. I'm a coach, creator, as well as a community builder, and I'm the founder of the Alchemy Network, a community platform that helps fellow entrepreneurs to connect with like-minded people and build a business in the right way. I started with Bonnie in 2008 when I began to work, and eventually I was writing blogs thinking that people are reading it. And that's when I thought that, yes, content is something that is really going to make a lot of sense in the future. 2011, I got an opportunity to learn the concept of YouTube. And that's how I started making videos, went too deeper into it. And that's how, once I got the knack of how to record videos and give the message right to the right people, there was no looking back. And that's how I started value-driven content on YouTube. Post that, in 2016, I learned the concept of podcast because I always wanted to have my show on the radio as an RJ, but then, there was always skeptical and scared. But then podcast made it very easy. Soon I realized when I started meeting a lot of
Congratulations on your
entrepreneurs.
success of putting yourself out there. And what made you decide to create the Content Lab and the Alchemy Network?
Absolutely. So Daniel, when I started meeting a lot of people, I saw a particular pattern which made me realize the concept which is called as the one which I developed, the 5 pillar principle. And that's how I developed a company which is called as VIH Tribes. VIH stands for Video Influencer Hub. Tribe stands for community. So VIH Tribe Content Lab. That's where I started my coaching and my consultations related to content-driven business strategies. And that's how I started helping a lot of people. And later I realized, which is part of my 5 pillar principle. So the 5th pillar is community. So that's how I built the Alchemy Network, which is a community platform.
I mean, what do you think like entrepreneurs and marketers may be missing or not doing right when it comes to doing their marketing and branding?
The one common thing that I have seen when speaking to a lot of fellow marketers, as well as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, is each one has a product or a service, but most of them do not realize either their target audience or the pain points of their target audience. And that makes them kind of create content, but it's not driving in the right direction. That's a classic example of the definition of insanity. So they're doing the same work, but expecting this different result that, they will get better results, whether it is LinkedIn, YouTube. Of course, they do get in the form of maybe some engagement. However, it's not getting converted into monetization. And primarily everyone in the world is putting content so that they want to monetize. So that's where I can see a huge gap, content versus monetization.
Now, what is the difference between doing organic marketing versus paid marketing? Because I know a lot of people, they say paid marketing is faster, you get fast results.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite topics. And Daniel, divided into 2 teams, organic team versus inorganic team. And try to justify both of them at times. But then, yes, I favor the organic team a lot. So people who start fresh may not have that much amount of money to advertise. And I have seen a lot of people in the process of starting their business, they invest a lot in many things, but they fail to do something which is very important, is to create the right content. So they pay a lot of money to develop products, which is important, develop website, which is important. But then in the course of time, what happens is that they have invested so much in many of the things that they do not have enough amount to experiment. And when I say the word experiment is the right word when it comes to inorganic marketing, because in the initial stage, you're actually experimenting whether this particular ad or this particular copywriting or this message is resonating with your target audience or not. And once you get a lookalike or people responding to your ads, that's when, you start seeing results. So that's where CTA and CTR and all those things come into action. Whereas I usually tell people with whom I counsel, to whom I coach, is for the first 3 to 4 months, do a lot of excessive organic content and create a lot of evergreen content. When you start seeing interactions, engagements on that particular platform, and then when you run ads on the same platform, and give a clear message to that platform that find the lookalike of the people who are actually engaging with my content. Because see, since they are engaging, that means they are resonating with you, with your message and with your products. They may not buy it, which is okay, but still they are resonating. That means we need to find the same lookalike people of the same people who engaged with you. That makes it much more easier, and your cost per lead and your cost per acquisition actually comes down. And a lot of people, Daniel, do not understand or they have not come across this concept, which is called as customer lifetime value. So when they understand that, it becomes very easy for them. And eventually your cost per acquisition really comes down.
Now, some people say that you should be on all the platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, but some people say you should focus on one platform. What's your point of view on that? And if you think you should focus on one platform, what should it be?
Awesome. When it comes to platforms, I'll go a little basic first, Daniel, if you allow me to. So when it comes to platforms, we have actually 2 types of platforms. We have traffic generating platform and we have engagement platform. So you need to first understand that. If you want engagement, go to LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter, which is now called as X. So these 5 platforms are engagement platforms where people engage with you. They comment, they save, they like, they DM you. But that doesn't allow you to generate traffic because those platforms are designed in such a way that they do not allow their members to go out of the platform. So for example, if you put any link on LinkedIn right now, and if anyone clicks on it, or even on Instagram, if anyone clicks on it, there is before it takes you to that particular landing page or that website, there is a pop-up message which says, you really want to click on this message and go out. And they give you 2 options because they are designed in a way they don't want their members to go out. Versus to have a traffic generating platform, which is designed in a way to give you traffic on your landing page or your website. And this is free traffic. So YouTube, podcast, Google My Business. Then we have blog writing websites like Medium, Quora, Reddit. These are all traffic generating platforms. There is already traffic there. And if your target audience is there, you should be at that platform. So what I usually advise people is to choose one platform from traffic generating and one platform from engagement platform and be active there. However, you need to repurpose your content to the rest of the platforms also. Why? Because your audience are there on all the platforms. And in the marketing world, it is usually said that people will take actions only after seeing you at least 7 different times. It's called as 7 touch points. So you need to be there on newsletter, video form, carousel form, single post, article form, everywhere. And that's when they see you 7 times, they will kind of have a brand recall. Unless you are a great keynote speaker like Gary Vee, then that's a different game altogether.
So if somebody had to get started, what platform do you recommend to get started on?
Depends upon the niche, Daniel. because I focus and coach more of solopreneurs, artists, and coaches. So for artists, it is Pinterest as well as Instagram and YouTube. Whereas when it comes to coaches, it is LinkedIn, YouTube. So it depends upon your niche, depends upon your target audience. That will help you define which platform will be the right platform for.
Fine. So when you're talking about like creating content, a lot of people just using ChatGPT, like a simple prompt, they're like write an article and they can, copy and paste it on Medium. Or what are your views of that? Of just using, like ChatGPT to create all your content? I mean, so do you really even need a strategy anymore because of AI?
So it's a beautiful question, Daniel. There are two types of people that I see who use AI. One who are no subject expertise. So they kind of use copy paste, which AI gives. And second are subject experts. However, they are not writers, or they do not know how to articulate in the right way. So yes, AI is a tool that you can use to kind of accelerate your progress. So AI is like a catalyst. So if you use AI in the right way, backing with your expertise and experience, then yes, it is important. And why do I say this, Daniel, is because since I am also a consultant to many of the brands, so one of the brand had a marketing team, and the head of the marketing, who had wonderful experience of 15 years plus, but in the past 6 months, she was using absolutely ChatGPT driven strategies. And when their brand customers asked her, can you explain what was the thought behind using this particular strategy after 6 months? She didn't have an answer. So if we are 100% dependent on only AI, but not justifying or backing up with your experience, it becomes very difficult. Whereas people who are experts, or I can say who at least have a knowledge of that particular subject, and if they use AI with their own thought process, not becoming an AI zombie, I can say, then I think that will really make a lot of difference. And that is something differentiates between you as an expert versus other fake people. And it becomes very clear. Your target audience will get to know whether you are true or fake.
So before you use the term like content alchemist, what does that mean to you?
That's my favorite word. I call myself the brand alchemist, and the concept that I teach is content alchemist. So this word alchemist came from the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and the word itself means alchemy, means transformation. So the alchemist transforms lead into gold, and I help people transform ideas into content and content into business. So the content alchemist or the content alchemy is to convert your content into monetizable product, or at least become a part of your sales funnel. Otherwise, that content is useless. To give you more simple explanation, there are thousands of people on TikTok and Instagram dancing and doing a lot of entertaining part. People who are able to encash that into brand deals, that's content alchemy. But the rest of the people who are still dancing and getting nothing, that's a waste of time and a waste of efforts.
Well, some people enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, if
That's
you
the
love
same kind
dancing
of
or
fun.
enjoying, that's great. But then if you're expecting to get some results out of it, apart from likes and shares, then I think, I mean, because I have seen even good dancers or who are passionate about things, they fail to get that kind of a recognition which they deserve. Good painters, watercolor artists, acrylic artists, you know, fight masters. So these all people are so good in their art and craft, but for some reasons they are not able to get that kind of recognition. So doing it in the right way will definitely get them.
So how do you teach solopreneurs, entrepreneurs how to drive traffic?
I have a signature program which is called as Self-Made Entrepreneur Program or SME program. It's a 6 months program where I handle them and give them the entire concepts of 5 pillar principle. So the 5 pillars are pillar number 1, which is content, pillar number 2, which is traffic, pillar number 3, which is lead generation and nurturing, which leads to pillar 4, which is sales and marketing, and pillar 5, which is community. This entire, I make them walk through all the pillars and not just make them walk through it, but also help them create everything for their own business at each stage. So that becomes like a proper sales funnel, or I can say a better offer. And that's how they are able to encash and run their business successfully online because of that program. And I have, I would say, thousands of testimonials now based on that.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, what makes your program unique compared to, there's a lot of like marketing programs out there. Why is it so special? Like, what makes it, what's the secret sauce that makes it work?
2 reasons. Reason number 1, I actually bring actionable things which I learned in the 15 years of journey of content creation. And second thing is my intervention. It's my hand-holding, which I do with my students, which gives them better ideas. And I customize every time different things for every student because each one is unique. And that gives a very clear idea to each one of them. So whether it's a group coaching or whether it's a one-to-one coaching, each person gets exclusive, I would say, ideas and handholding every single time. That makes me unique and different. And that's the reason why I have a success rate of 70%.
Wow, that's really amazing. That's a really high rate in the industry. Must be doing something right.
Because you have a backing of a coach. Even my things will speak like, I have to walk my talk. So only if I don't walk with them, how will I get results? And if I'm promising them, I should ensure that they should get it because it's their hard-earned money. And I believe the law of karma. So if I don't give my 200%, they will not get their 100%. But it's a two-way thing. Even if I'm giving it, but if I don't see efforts from their side, I make them understand. And if they don't align with it, then I don't coach them anymore. Even that's the case. So you need to be very much aligned with what they say and what I say.
Fantastic. So what's your a methodology that you can share with regarding lead generation that doesn't feel salesy? Because, sometimes it just seems so obvious. Like somebody's trying to sell you something, like when you're scrolling through TikTok or YouTube.
So Daniel, it's very simple. First and foremost, I tell them don't sell anything, but help them buy. There's a huge difference between that. So the moment they understand this particular concept, the life becomes very easy for them. Now, I do help them in creating a lot of low-ticket products, lead magnets, middle products, as well as most valuable products. And based on that, I make them understand that you need to first understand the pain points of your target audience. Your message basically is very clear. Your mess becomes your message is what I learned from the .com secret book and the expert secret book. So when it comes to creating these products, it should be absolutely aligned with your target audience pain points. Don't create the need, but understand there is a need already there in the market. We just have to align your solution to. And the very whether it is networking or doing one-to-ones, I see a lot of people at the very first meeting, rather than understanding the opposite person, they just go and try to sell their things. It's not needed. First, try to understand. Probably in that conversation, you will realize that it's very much important for you to first understand that person. And if it aligns with your products and services, you can say, see, I don't want to sell you things. This is what I do. And if it really resonates with you, you can do it. I'll give you an example. 2 hours back, I was doing a one-to-one with a very good coach. She is stuck. We just had a conversation for 3 hours over a cup of coffee. And it was just conversations on every other thing except what I personally do. When that person felt secured, aligned, and kind of felt that, I may be the right person to kind of guide. And I gave a lot of golden nuggets before that. The person itself asked me, Mithyll, can you be my coach? Can you be my mentor? So I didn't sell anything, but the product was already sold. And what's the product? You are the product. This is one thing people don't realize. People are crazy about Apple for a very simple reason, because it aligns with Steve Jobs' vision. If you remove Steve Jobs from Apple concept, I don't think people will buy anything. So they disrupt the common things. They are innovators and they make complex things very simple. Similarly, do you do the same thing? If you do it, it will be very easy. So when it comes to me doing personal one-to-one or one-to-many programs, we create offers in such a way that it actually aligns with their target audience. And it's that simple. Trust me, business doing online is absolutely simple. I don't know why people complicate.
I mean, is there a particular process or funnel that you use? Like you create like landing page and you say you create a couple of videos on put it on YouTube, and you walk people through explaining like your offer, whether it's a service or product, and then you just say, hey, if this is right for you, click here.
Yes. So Daniel, if you see, I actually gave my entire SME program on your podcast, the blueprint right away. So the 5-pillar principle, if you see, in order to capture leads, you need to have a mechanism. Now, if people have a website, you should have a mechanism there. If you don't have a website, you can still use certain websites which allow you to do that. Like Gumroad, for example. So you can have your lead magnets there. You can have your newsletter there. So take advantage of platforms which are either free or paid to capture and then nurture. So once you do that, and of course, how can you capture leads? You need to drive traffic there. How will you drive traffic there? Through content. Now, content can be paid content. Again, an ad is a content. So either you're doing a paid content or you're doing a free content, which will eventually drive traffic. And where does the traffic lead to? To either a landing page or to a website or to a lead magnet page. Once you go there, it should have a mechanism to capture name, email ID in such a way that it should not be a fake ID. It should be a real ID. Then only you will be able to connect to that real person again. Now, people also have Telegram groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and WhatsApp group to do that, because there you will have real people and not fake people. So even that you can do it, and it becomes much more easy.
Wow, that's really fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I mean, what do you think is like the role of nurturing from, the very beginning stages all the way to, from converting a cold lead into a loyal client? Like how important is that?
True. I like you very well, highlighted. A lead is always cold first. To a loyal fan, it's a good journey. It's a long journey. So first and foremost, if you see, if people have come on your landing page, that means they are somewhat interested in what message you send. And they are hooked up now. And now they came for since they are giving you their information in exchange of something that you are giving to them. And that's what a lead magnet is all about. Once that is done, you need to have a sequence of emails or a message or in such a way that it aligns with what they had kind of purchased or kind of, taken from you as freebie. Usually in most cases, what people do is, let's say, for example, I have a lead magnet, which gives you 200 plus proper hooks, which you can use in your content. You can download from my website. Now, if I want to nurture someone, I will have a sequence of emails in such a way that it aligns with the hook story offer concept, or it allows in such a way that why hooks are important. So basically, I'm backing up and making my target audience realize and understand that the thing that you downloaded for free, now how can you use it? How it has helped other people. Now, because understand one thing, they used something, they downloaded something, you need to do something in the next 72 hours, it should give them some kind of results. If it gives them, bang, the cold lead has now become a warm lead. They will come back to you. Then you can give them a kind of a one-to-one or something where they connect, you talk to that person live. Then it will become a hot lead. And that's how you will take them to the next stage where it will be sales. And now in the sales, whatever they pay, if you give them 10 times of that and make them crazy about your content, and if you are able to give them and help them get results, eventually they will become your loyal fans and they will never leave hand. So that's the whole journey from cold lead to a loyal fan. What I said makes it very easy, but if you want to put it into efforts, it takes time to get that result.
I mean, is it possible that somebody with no experience with digital marketing can start creating compelling content, even though they have no experience?
Absolutely. It's simple. It's easy. However, I will always say that if you have a mentor, you will be able to reach faster. Otherwise, it will take time because you will do a lot of experiments at first. And it's going to be like a hit and run, hit and run. Many times you will fail, you will get some results at some time. But if you do it with the help of a mentor, what you can get in 3 months, you will get it probably in 15 days.
Wow, that's really amazing. So it really takes a short period of time, just like you're saying, like in a few weeks, people can start creating compelling content, start generating leads with your program.
Absolutely.
I mean, can you walk us through like a program? Like how long is it? Maybe share some like costs. Is it online? Is it in person? Like, is it a workshop?
Sure.
What type of results can people expect when they join your program?
Okay. So Daniel, the program, the signature program that I have, which I call as the Self-Made Entrepreneur Program, is a 6 months program where we meet at the initial 3 months, we meet 3 times a week virtually for 1 hour, where we have set assignments and set curriculum for every meeting that we are having. In that, there are a lot of things that I do with them. And I show them with examples and take them step by step in creating those things together. In the 4th month is where we reduce the 3 days to 2 days. Because now I want them to put more efforts in their business rather than learning, because they must have learned enough in the 3 months, in the first 3 months, that they will start getting into the momentum and they start getting some results. At least they are able to generate leads from the 4th month itself. When the moment they reach to the 6th month, they have brilliant offers, digital products, and probably even a physical product with them, which they start marketing and they start monetizing from it. And the results that I have seen that people get, because most of my students are from US, Canada, and India. So I have seen they are able to make, when it comes to India, they are able to generate more than $2,000 a month. And when it comes to US and Canada, they are able to touch $5,000 and $6,000 a month. That is the potential. But again, this is an average of what I see. Many of people have done more than that. Depends upon the efforts that they took. Depends upon the niche and also depends upon how they have positioned themselves. Because understand one thing, it's your business. It's like your baby. How you take care of your child, nurture it, that's how that child will grow. So people who take it as a business, they grow. People who take it as a passion, it takes some time to grow.
Thank you. It's very well said. What do you think is like the biggest mindset block that holds, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs back from being successful?
When it comes to mindset block, there are so many. They have money blockage. May I be able to make that much money? most of the people that I have coached and seen is this get scared to sell. Is the moment they are doing a fantastic webinar or they're doing a fantastic coaching or a one-to-one, and the time comes when they have to sell something or they have to quote the price of their coaching program, they fumble, their leg shakes, and they have no idea how to say that. Most of them are not confident there because they personally feel they don't have the skill to sell. And if you are able to do that, if you are able to overcome that, things becomes much more simpler. Things become much more easier.
So how do they overcome these blocks? I mean, do you teach that as part of your program, like how to overcome, if they're not confident selling?
Absolutely. So if you see, Daniel, in my 5-pillar principle, the selling comes at the 4th pillar. But the mindset comes from the day one. So in every session, I have a seeding done to them through neuro-linguistic programming that they can do it. They have the power. So each session, I kind of give them a realistic pumping that they can do it. Then we do certain mock sessions. After 3 months, we do certain mock sessions where they are doing the same thing in front of their friends and family members. So basically, they are not in front of unknown people. So it's better to do mistakes, create some chaos there, but they will learn. And once they keep on repeating it, then they become more confident and they overcome it. Because understand one thing, Daniel, this particular thing is a skill and this can be achieved only and only through practice. And it will never happen at the very first place, but you need to also work with yourself. Apart from my coaching, I also give them a lot of audio tapes or a lot of YouTube videos, which of great leaders, speakers who have spoken about mindset, they've spoken about self-healing and many other things. They have to invest their time there also. Then only they are able to overcome that. Because this is something a lot of people have, I won't say childhood trauma, but through childhood, the relationship with money is something that I have seen as a pattern, that it is not that good. Unless you come from a business family, then that's a different concept altogether. But who are like very first entrepreneurs of their family members, I think, you can gauge the mindset then. It's absolutely different. From an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset, it takes time.
So what trends do you predict will shape the future of content marketing and branding?
Daniel, one, AI is your friend. The sooner you take help of AI and learn the art of prompt engineering, it will be easier for you. Because as I see the way the world is progressing with the help of AI, things are changing too fast, too soon. And you need to be in sync with the things which are changing. Yes, many a times it feels overwhelming. And that's why you need a coach. And I'm not talking about myself alone. There are so many good coaches in the world. You can take help of them. You can also join communities, support groups, but start asking the right questions to the right people, which will help you get the right answers. Because in this world right now, if you only rely on the answers given by ChatGPT, I'm really sorry. Because even an AI hallucinates. So you need to understand, and at least you should have that knowledge to differentiate between the correct and the right. There's a difference between it.
So Mithyll, if somebody has any questions from our interview today or they're interested in joining your program, what's the best way they can reach you?
All right. So Daniel, the best way, I'm available on LinkedIn, Mithyll Dave. That's the same website, mithyldave.com. It is MITHYLLBAVE.com. You will be able to find a shop there with a lot of free resources. You can download them, use them, take advantage of it. You can also book a one-to-one with me there. Also, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram with the same handle, Mithyll Dave. And it's very easy. I would love to have conversation with anyone who really is passionate or have an idea and really wants to make big yourself in the digital world. Let's have a conversation.
Mithyll, do you have any final words to share with our audience before we wrap up our podcast for today?
Yes. So when you get an idea, that means the universe wants you to grab that opportunity. Do not overthink and sit on the fence. If you get an idea, and yes, I'm talking to you, whoever who's listening or watching this video, you can achieve it. It's possible, and it is absolutely possible. And there is a beautiful quote in Bible which is there in front of me, and I keep it always in front of me. Ask and it shall be given. You need to ask and you will get the solutions. And now we have support groups and so many things. You can ask and you will be given the answers. Don't be afraid to take the first step, because Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and had a great fall. So don't have a fall. We are there to guide you. We are there to handhold you. And Daniel is doing a fantastic work over here by bringing some awesome guests and giving you so much of golden nuggets and values through these conversations. Take advantage of it. Thank you, Daniel.
Well, thank you, Mithyll, for that compliment. That was really nice of you. And I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing all your knowledge and expertise with our audience. You're obviously an expert when it comes to digital marketing, content marketing. And your program sounds very intriguing, so I'm sure a lot of people can check it out. So in the show notes, they'll have access to a link to your website and your LinkedIn handle so they can easily reach out to you if they're interested.
Love it.
Again, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your wisdom with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. I love to help as much as possible to the people. Thank you.